Hey, what's going on, guys? It's A8 again, back with another video. Please make sure you guys are subscribing. Become a subscriber. It's free. It's free 99. It won't hurt you. It's free to subscribe. And I'd like to respond to questions. I'd like for the people I respond to be subscribers. So, guys, if I'd like for you guys to interact with the video, so please subscribe. It won't hurt you anything. It'll help me out. And please thumbs up these videos as well and share them on your social media. Okay, let's get into this video. This video here is a series of videos I'm doing on shopping, buying used cars from various places. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to look out for warning signs and how not to get ripped off when buying vehicles off Craigslist. So, starting off with this vehicle, I just went through Craigslist, different cities, and found a vehicle at random. This is the first one of the vehicles that I kind of found just at random. And I wanted to show you guys some things to watch out for that'll make you more savvy of a shopper when you're buying used cars, especially if you buy them to fix up for yourself, family members, friends, or if you like to flip cars or, make some extra money buying and selling cars. And there's a lot of great deals you can gain by doing it that way. And there's a lot of money you can lose as well. So what I'm trying to do is help you guys save some money, make some money, and just come out happy overall with the purchase you make. So starting with this vehicle, let's get into this. It's a 2000 Grand Am, and they're asking $1,500. And the ad is 2000 Pontiac Grand Am, shows the color, gives minor details on issues with the car. They put more effort into talking about the rust than the performance of the vehicle and how it runs. They put rust in front of both rear tires, scratches on the passenger side, stains in the back seat. And I'll come back to that stain part in a minute because that was kind of eerie in this whole thing. And it highlights a new battery. Now it says the car does have a brake line leak somewhere, but they're not sure where. Then it goes on to say there's no other issues that I know of, but the check engine light is on. So he says there's no issues that he know of, but the check engine light is on. So you do know of another issue. You know something is causing a check engine light. But anyway, so it says I'm not sure of that. If the check engine light basically is because of the leak or not. And he says, my brother was driving daily until he passed away. I'm asking $1,500, but reasonable offers will be considered. So let's go to the most obvious thing. When you see an ad like this, expect for someone that's serious about selling a vehicle or it's on the up and up for the most part. Not saying this individual is, but it's a red flag nonetheless. The first thing you want to recognize in the Craigslist ad when you're buying a car is the fact that they mention the performance of the vehicle, meaning transmission and engine. Those are the two most critical parts of a vehicle, that the car runs and the car moves. Because you have to, in order to drive the car, it has to move, and it also has to run. But when it comes to safety and emissions inspections, that most states will require both. Some states only require one or the other, but in most states you'll be needing both, which means that if you have a check engine light on, then you'll never pass the inspection with the check engine light on. And the first red flag is that there is a check engine light on, and this person has not even gone to the auto parts store to have them pull the code for that. And if you guys are buying used cars, you need to go and get you a cheap code reader. I'll link some in the description, some very low cost ones, but with the necessities that are included in the code reader, because you'll need ABS, which is the brake system. You'll need SRS, which is the seatbelt and airbag system, as well as being able to read just basic codes. And another thing you want is live data, where you can see what the car's it's doing performance wise while the car is running. And those type of code readers are great for being able to analyze a vehicle right on site, give you as much information before you decide to hand your money, your hard-earned money, over to someone for a vehicle. Okay, back into this vehicle. It since the person did not go into detail about the car, how it ran, if it needs spark plugs, or if it runs rough or anything like that, these type of things to me are red flags, and it makes me not really want to invest in something like this. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't even want to check it out. And the reason why this would be a turnoff for me is the asking price. A lot of times when people price these vehicles on Craigslist, they know that they're not going to get, well, I'm not going to say they know that. Most people know that they're not going to get their asking price. So they throw a high number, and then usually they'll wiggle between $200 to $500. So let's say on the high end, this guy's asking, really he wants $1,000 for this vehicle. But seeing that the things that we can see from here, it's obvious that this is not $1,000 vehicle. It's a 2000 Grand Am, and I believe this is the first year of this body style, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe this is the last of the body styles before they stop making the Grand Am. So these cars are all over the road, and for that price, you can usually find someone selling one for $1,500 to $2,000 that's in tip-top shape, no check engine lights, no dents, no anything. Sometimes you can even get them with both inspections already done, or they're ready. The car is ready to go right at the time you purchase, and you can still negotiate a little bit in between. So, another issue is the fact that there's a new battery, which means that there was an issue recently with the battery, and then that has to signal something that, okay, there's a power issue. For some reason, the power was lost in this vehicle to a point where a new battery was required. And that could be a parasitic draw where something is causing the battery to drain constantly. The battery could have been drained multiple times due to no start conditions that constantly draw on the power of the battery to a point where the battery has been no start for so long and cranked for so long that it keeps getting weak to a point where the battery was no good, so they have a new battery in it for whatever reason. But those are the main reasons. Then getting into the brake line leak. To me, the most important part of a vehicle is the brake system. And I'm not saying that. I'm putting that even over the engine. When you're buying a car, the most important thing about a car is the engine and the transmission, because all other things can be overcome fairly easy besides the engine function and the transmission functions. When it comes to brake lines, you're driving a vehicle that's 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 pounds. And you're driving this vehicle at 70 miles an hour on the highway, 30, 40, 50 on the streets. You're driving 2 and 3 ton vehicles at excess of 70 miles an hour. The best thing you can hope for is to be able to stop that vehicle from smashing into anything. So if you have an issue with the brake line, that's something that, if you're not familiar with that, if you're buying a car for yourself, it's something you have to watch out for, having a brake line leak, especially when the person says they don't know, they're not sure where it is. So again, if the car's been sitting for a while, there may not be brake fluid. The line may be so rusted that it won't hold enough pressure to for the brakes to work. So that's another red flag. But then I got into this part. This is the eerie part of the whole thing that kind of made me like standoffish about this deal, is because the end part where it says my brother was driving it daily until he passed away. And then as soon as I read the passed away thing, I referred back into the listing, and if you can see, it says scratches on the passenger side, and then stain in the back seat. And I'm thinking, stain in the back seat, and then somebody who owned it passed away. And the only thing that I could think of in this instant is maybe somebody was hurt real bad in the vehicle, and hopefully the stain is not blood, and hopefully that's not the case, but that's the first thing that popped in my mind. So that kind of made me squeamish about this whole listing. And if there's a stain in the seat, I would hope that you would be more inclined to clean the stain before you sold the vehicle, unless it's a stain that's not removable, and it's like, what is that stain? And those type of warning signs, guys, for me, are what make me, when it comes to a vehicle like this, very cautious. And for this vehicle, if you could get around certain things, if you could get this vehicle, what I would ask for in this vehicle, the price that I would offer this person is off their asking price. I would not offer them more than $750 for this vehicle, and that would be a take it or leave it type deal. And that's based off of what I see and what I know of vehicles, and what the person admitted and omitted both from this listing. Because a serious seller is going to put every single thing in a listing that they can. And I'll do videos too as well, guys, showing you how serious sellers, and this is a person, this is a owner, not a dealer, because you can separate the listings between owners and dealers, or you can look at both. I usually only look at the owners, because dealers usually have prices that are retail, and I'm not willing to pay that, especially since I know how to fix most things on a car, so including engines and transmissions. But I refuse to pay that much when I can invest fractions of that and still purchase the replacement parts, be they engines, transmissions, suspensions, and all that, and still come out 3/4 to half of what a dealer would ask for the same vehicle. So, but I'll show you guys other examples, as well as how a motivated, but not really motivated, because motivated usually sounds like that's usually a desperate person. But a person that's serious about selling a vehicle, and they don't want any issues. They want to give you everything so you don't have to keep bothering them, and they know what's all entailed. I'll do videos on that as well, guys. But this deal, $750, maybe $800, but that's cutting it close. And that would be a take it or leave it. And if they didn't take it, then I would walk, because to me this vehicle is worth about that in this condition. But you guys use your own discretion. Some people would pay $1,500 for this vehicle, but if it's a personal vehicle, $1,500 may not be bad if you could do the work. But if it's a vehicle that you're buying to sell, definitely not more than $800, because you'd have to price in the work you'd have to do to get it running properly, and then the profit you would make. And this is a $1,500 vehicle, $1,500 to $1,800 that you could probably sell this for if it's in top shape. So you guys do the numbers. But guys, that's the end of this video. How to keep from getting ripped off when you're buying vehicles on Craigslist. I'll do many more of these vehicles dealing with Craigslist cars, and how to make money with them, and how to save money with them, how to avoid rip-offs and all that. But guys, please, 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 I can't say it's enough. It is free, and I won't bother you guys. It's free for you to subscribe. So please subscribe and hit the thumbs up, and check me on the next one.